Now, I'm Michelle from the MC112. Now I'm going to have an interview with Mr. Koo for news writing and reporting subject individuals assignment. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Okay.
I heard about that you wanted to be a mentalist. Can you define what is a mentalist?
A mentalist is a person who has so-called an extraordinary skill, which is in observations, persuasions, influence, suggestions, and even doing tricks as an entertainer, a performer, or even a helper. I would say something like this.
Since when you want to be a mentalist?
Since when I was in college, I majored in psychology. In that moment, there's always a questions when people, knowing me, I'm majored in psychology, they always have some questions for me. Do you know what I'm thinking right now? I don't know. I have no idea at all. Because psychology is something like a study. We explain human behavior, but we are not revealing them what are their process, the thinking process at the moment. But meanwhile, I saw on the television program the magician like David Blaine, Darren Brown. It seems they can understand. To just ask the spectator on the street to look at me, think of a number right now. They can reveal me. I'm so surprised, and I have no idea. Okay, they fool me. And later on, I found out that actually this is a mentalism tricks. These are magic tricks. So that's why and one day I'm suddenly on a bus. I'm just thinking that why not using magic tricks to incorporate inside the therapeutic setting, which can make people using the magic tricks to make people feel that this is something unusual, is something fun, interesting, yet providing something helpful to increase their confidence, to help them get through the obstacle in their life. And I found that since that day, the psychology, in Malaysia, I'm not sure in other countries, in Malaysia, the psychology course should add on something called magic or mentalism.
Then, who actually inspired you or motivated you?
The first person to inspire me to become a magician is Chris Angel. For me, he's the greatest magician of all time. But if you ask me who really inspired me to become a mentalist, I would say there's a fictional character called Patrick J in a drama series called The Mentalist. He's displayed a character which has an extraordinary skill on observation, hypnosis, trick people like a con artist. This fascinated me. But beside him, Darren Brown, Kid Berry, those really famous performers, mentalists, they always show something which is I can explain by using psychology alone. So there's something behind. But this only makes me curious about mentalism. And I found some things to learn on it. Yes, it's something cool, but not really inspiring me. But the person really inspiring me is Patrick J. Because the way he act out the character, maybe it just suits me. I like this kind of style. It's really practical in the daily life. It's not like mentalist, the performer. They need a lot of props. They need to bring a deck of cards, coins, or whatever. It's just going out, talking to people, and people just follow what he asks to do. It's a suggestion, it's a hypnosis. And then he likes to trick people. Something's very simple. But because of his extraordinary observation skill, he can know that whether you're telling lies, whether what you are thinking of because of the cold reading. And then this really, really hits me on. And from that time, I dedicated to become a mentalist because of this fictional character, Patrick J.
So is there any institute or college for studying mentalist?
So far as I know, no.
Okay. In the process of becoming a mentalist, what kind of problem do you face?
The major problem would be there is no institution or college that can guide you, provide a course that you can step by step to go on. However, there are some books, lecturers, which just can help me. But because of in Malaysia, learning magic trick is not that well established, and not that much people interested in mentalism. Because mentalism is something really acquire a lot of skills and techniques. It's not like magic tricks. Magic tricks is most likely based on sleight of hand. But mentalism is something that requires your presentation style, your showmanship, and how do you convince people. You have to be a chameleon. So that's why mentalism is more suitable for human interaction, rather than just performing, okay, I'm going to vanish this one, boom, it's going to vanish. But mentalism is going to sell you something, okay? And how am I going to, do you see this is white color? Okay, maybe later on it become red color. Maybe not, may or may not. But it's a kind of experiment. It's selling you something. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 until you obey it, and they perform a really big show, big ending, and no one knows what happened. But of course, these are called pre-show. So these are the difficulties, which is hard to find the material. Not much magic dealer in Malaysia, and hard to find a friend which is really interested in mentalism. Not much books. You have to order from the overseas, and there's no gurus for me, so I have to learn by myself.
So, how long do you think it takes to make you to become a mentalist?
Hard to tell, but there's a lot of things to be learned, such as I insist to go some courses to make myself really become a so-called complete mentalist, such as the lie detecting course, persuasion, body language, hypnosis, all those stuff. For me, it's a really main course, which is I have to attend to become a complete mentalist. Because one of my definition of mentalist is the complete mentalist is something that can do or perform, that possess this kind of ability in everyday life, in every aspect of life. Like observation is a very basic thing. You have to interact with people. You have to know their body language, what it means. And when they tell you something, then you know whether they are telling lies or not. And then when they are asking you, do you know what I'm thinking right now? Yes, I can co-read them. So these are the things, the element which is possessed, in the combinations. And these people think that, wow, you're crazy. It freaks me out. So these are called the complete. If there's not semi-complete mentalist, they're relying on the props. They're relying on the skill and technique, the routine they know. They have to do it on stage, on close up. They have to prepare first. But as a complete mentalist, it's supposed to be can perform anywhere, anyone, anytime.
So before we end this interview, can you show us some tricks?
Okay. What kind of tricks do I see actually?
Something unusual.
Yes, but can I just ask somebody besides you? Is it okay I ask you?
So I have to stop.